What's good, YouTube? Welcome back, Kenju Clan. My name is Kenny Plug. Please sit back, relax, and connect with me while I talk about Family Guy. Now, listen, I decided to make the mistake of sitting back to relax and watching an episode of Family Guy to pass the time. And after watching this episode, I got so pissed off that if I see one of these writers, I'm willing to slap them in their face or spit over them. I'm willing to go to jail, basically, because of what they did to my childhood show. Now let me explain to y'all why I'm willing to go so far. Now listen, when I was 7, I started watching Family Guy when I was 7 years old. And when I got into like 12, the 13s, even the 10s, I would come home from school looking forward to an episode of Family Guy. Not this shit here. That's not Family Guy. This, we gonna get to what that is, but that's not Family Guy. I used to discuss Family Guy jokes and cutaways with my friends at school. That's how I have cutaways in my videos because of Family Guy. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I see half the crew is hungover or either still shit faced over there, Alec. I see you. Oh, Patrick, is that a little bit of coke on your nose? You better rub that off. But I see y'all are piped up and ready to give me fresh ideas. So I want to hear it. What ideas do y'all have for the new season?
What I was thinking, I think Peter should fall in love with Stewie, and they should have another baby, so we can add another baby to the cast and get
That's
more.
not a bad idea, Patrick. That's not a bad idea. Write that one down.
I think it would be a genius idea if Quagmire cut his balls off because of today's social landscape, planted them in the ground.
I like the sound of that. Alec, I like the sound of that.
I think we should have goddamn Bart Simpson. I think we should have Bart Simpson again. We need Bart Simpson.
You know what? These are all some great ideas here. Now look, just write them down and make episodes out of them. We're going to make money either way. The people watching this are either drunk or asleep while it's playing in the background. Nobody is actually paying attention to this anymore. So just put whatever bullshit you got down on a piece of paper. I got that influence from them. And Family Guy used to have some of the most special stories, like Brian helping the old lady get out of her house. Like Meg and Peter getting the car from Meg, that whole episode. And Brian and all the road to Rhode Islands and their duo. And when the songs, they actually had songs. It felt like Seth MacFarlane wanted to be Tony Sinatra, and he was succeeding at it. He was in his bag with this, and he was doing all the voices. There was so much love and creativity put in the early Family Guy, and the cutaways actually made sense and were funny. Look, that skit that was just on there, it says, I remember what that shit was about. George Washington never lies. His dad asked him, did he cut down that tree? He said, I can't tell a lie. I cut it down. And then his dad...
And what is this pamphlet I found under your bed called the Boston Tea Party? Not mine!
But this episode that I watched, it was called Vestigial Peter. If I pronounced that wrong, excuse me, I'm not a doctor. And clearly, these dumbasses that wrote this shit aren't either. Because it's about Peter getting a lump in his neck and a small human coming out of his neck. He had 2 heads for a whole segment of the episode, and then the doctor separated them. Listen, who was the main writer for this? Brian Scully. I wrote your name down. I don't know what your coke dealer put in your coke. I don't know if it was fentanyl. I don't know if it was kryptonite. I don't know if it was Crips at night. But whatever it was, it's not regular coke, buddy. I don't know what you sniffing to make you think that this was a good episode. And the cutaways y'all have for this. Look, it's Peter as an air... Like, are y'all even trying anymore? Y'all see that shit? And I get it. The earlier episodes had the Kool-Aid Man popping out, but at the same time, it had its novelty back then because the episodes actually had storylines and plots that made sense. A connects to B. You want to know how this episode ends? It ends with Peter getting into it with his little Pee-wee, with his little Peter, because he didn't like him. But Peter ended up falling down his attic because he was wearing some high heels, and his little Peter had to save him.
Say what?
You know how fucking crazy that sounds? Compared to the Star Wars episodes? And now we're getting this? The cutaways? Terrible. Y'all had a cutaway of a dude going back to the 1970s. 1970s, right? And then he gonna say I'm in the 1970s, time to go show my penis to kids. What the fuck are you talking about? What made you come up with that? Why? Like, that's not even funny. That's lazy and edgy just to be edgy. This shit should have been canceled a long time ago, and not because of any type of humor, because it sucks. This shit should have stopped at season 10. I give it to season 10 because I'm a Family Guy stan. Bro, Family Guy was my whole childhood. There was this kid in our neighborhood who had a butt chin like Peter Griffin, but we said there were nuts on his chin, and every time we saw him, we would walk up to him and flick him on his chin and say nut shot and then run away. Like, this is my childhood. And it's like y'all just taking a pen, shoving it up y'all assholes and twerking on a piece of paper and calling it an episode. Like, what are you doing? Like, the thing is, I'm sitting up here trying to deep dive into the episode, but it's so fucking stupid that I don't want. It was actually a chore getting through this. Halfway through this, I was like, nah, I can't watch this fun no more. I need to make a YouTube video. I need to make this count for something, because this is just a waste of my time, and a terrible waste of my time at it. I felt like I was getting dumber watching this shit. Actually stupid, bro. Like, y'all got babies making gay jokes constantly and stuff. That's just crazy. So what we gonna do, we gonna personally name off the people who wrote this piece of shit so they can be ashamed of themselves. Look at this. Look at what's happening in the background. Peter skating in a bikini, and Alec Skulkin, may you go to hell. Danny Smith, may you suck a dick. Brian Scully, the main motherfucker. The main may you die a slow, painful, devastating death. May you do that. And Patrick Penis Sucker, may you suck a penis. Because it's a shame what y'all did to my show. Seth MacFarlane, I got a lot of respect for you because you talented and you made that shit, but at the same time, you're a sellout. How could you let this happen to your kid? And you're sitting up here on interviews talking about, yeah, I actually would like what they done with it. You know, it's more for like college kids, people who are drunk as fuck all the time, off Molly, acid. You have to be out your body to enjoy this shit. I'm telling you. Bro, I've seen probably every episode of Family Guy up to season 16. I remember the good. I can't list it off the top of my head. Like I said, the Brian with the old lady. Every time Stewie and Brian went somewhere, went on a road trip. When Peter was doing the MC Hammer dance, see, stupid shit like that was charming because he was like, can't touch this, because he had diplomatic immunity, because Pretoria was a... See how I remember episodes just while remembering details? This is how much of a Family Guy fan I am. And y'all gonna do this to my show? Man, fuck y'all. But until next time, Kenju Clan, I'll see y'all later. I love y'all, and peace.